guys, welcome back. I have a very cool new video for you today. It's a little bit of a tutorial on how to use an amazing multitasking product. It is the Pierre Rene Liquid Primer. The liquid primer has multiple uses. As I mentioned, it is an amazing multi-use product. I'm going to read off the box for you, and then I'm going to take you along some of the different ways you can use it. It says multi-purpose liquid for makeup fixation. Add a small amount to the selected product for wet application of eyeshadows, powders, bronzers and rouges to highlight the depth of their color and extend durability of your makeup. So it's amazing if you want to maybe up the ante of your blusher, your bronzer, your highlighter, any powder eyeshadows or pigments. It makes the colors a lot more rich and intense, and it'll actually make them last a lot longer. Just as perfect as a base for lipsticks, glitters and eyeshadows. So if you don't want to mix it with a product, you can actually use it as the base before you apply the product. So obviously while it's damp, then the powder will actually cling to it more. I've never used it for lipstick, so today is the first time. You can add the liquid primer to your base to significantly prolong its durability and turn an eyeshadow into a liquid eyeliner. I love the idea of taking like a super dark chocolatey eyeshadow and actually making it into a liquid eyeliner. Then you can basically take one product and use it for so many different things. It'll also quickly and effectively restore the right consistency of dried out products. So your dried out eyebrow pomades, your dried out gel pots of eyeliner, you add a couple of drops of this and it will become almost as if it's brand new. I'm going to start with the eyes, as I am going to be working with some loose pigments and some darker colors, and then that way it doesn't matter if I do get any fallout. I'm going to start off using a little bit of the liquid primer as an eyeshadow base. And then, as I would do with any other primer, I'm going to set it with a little bit of powder, and I'm going to use the MIYO Matte All Day translucent powder. And then I'm going to take the Pierre Rene Pinch Me palette, and I'm going to use the shade Eat Me, and just use that in the crease. I'm going to go to my MIYO 5 Points palette in Feminine Flame, and I'm going to take that dark brown on a slightly smaller crease brush. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Pierre Rene pigment in the shade 19 Azure Depth. It is a beautiful turquoisey teal. And I'm going to mix that with some of the liquid primer to make a liquid eyeshadow. So you can see the gorgeous kind of aquamarine eyeshadow that it has made. And then I'm going to take the MIYO 5 Points palette in the shade Life's a Beach, and I'm going to use that super dark shade just on the outer corners. And I'm now going to take a little bit of the primer on my face by itself. So I'm going to just put a few drops in my hand. I'm going to go in with some foundation. And I'm actually going to mix a little bit of the foundation with the primer as well, just for that added bonus, because then this stuff ain't going to budge. I'm going to go in using my Pierre Rene Skin Balance cover, and I'm going to do 1.5 pumps of that and a couple of drops of the liquid primer. And I'm going to just use a concealer brush to mix that all up. I'm going to take my Pierre Rene Contour Concealer. I have the shade 03, and I'm going to just brighten up my face a little bit and cover any imperfections. I'm going to now take the MIYO Matte All Day Fixing Powder again. It is the shade Translucent, and I'm going to just set the rest of my face with that. to use my Pierre Rene brow liner in the shade Ginger Bronze to do my brows. I've actually tinted them recently. However, I did want to show you using an old product of mine because I don't have anything old really from Glamour. I have the Benefit Brow. It is their brow pomade. I've had this for quite some time and it was hard, guys. I haven't used it for a while because it's actually honestly just been unmanageable. I actually took this earlier just as a little experiment and I mixed some of the Pierre Rene liquid primer in, and not only is it a beautiful smooth creamy formula again, but I've actually managed to mix all of it up, soften it up, and I've got an actual flat surface in there again. So it's taken an old dry formula and it's given it new life, which I'm really stoked about. So I'm going to just quickly fill in any sparse areas in my brows with my brow liner. I'm now going to take my Pierre Rene Terracotta Bronzer. I have the shade 01 Warm Bronze, and I'm just going to warm up my face a little bit. Now you can actually mix the liquid primer with products like your bronzers and your blushes. However, I genuinely don't need to with these products. They are already so pigmented, and I have already put the liquid primer down not only as a base, but I mixed it in with the foundation. So to me, that kind of base to help with everything is there to hold it and make it last long. I'm going to use the Pierre Rene Rouge Powder in the shade 02 Pink Fog. This is already so super pigmented, it genuinely does not need any help. So I'm going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks. And if you were going to be doing a face with no powder, for example, if I had not set my face with a fixing powder, if I hadn't really used any other powder products, I could actually definitely go in and mix that liquid primer with my highlighter. However, obviously I've powdered my face, that's a no-go. I have tried it though, and it works amazingly. I literally just put a little bit of the liquid primer in the back of my hand, spread it about so it's not so thick and smoothed out, and then I actually run my finger through the highlighting powder, dab it on the back there with the primer, and then I dab it onto my cheeks, and it makes it into like a liquid or a cream highlighter, and it looks beautiful. And I'm going to take the Pierre Rene highlighting powder in the shade 01 Glazy Look, my favorite. Also, these do not need any help being more pigmented or more blinding. These highlights are just utterly gorgeous. Look at that. I am, however, going to actually try using a little bit of this as a lip primer. So I'm going to just put a single drop on the back of my hand, and I'm going to spread it about, like I said, so I don't have such a hectically concentrated load going on, and I'm going to dab my lips and then leave them to dry. It's dried down nicely actually. I'm going to use my Pierre Rene Lip Matic in the shade 08 just to line my lips. And then I'm going to take the Pierre Rene Royal Matte Lipstick in the shade 38 Charm of Mocha all over the lips. And now I'm going to just finish up the eyes because now I know that it's properly dry. And then I'm going to take that MIYO Feminine Flame and that chocolate brown, and I'm going to do the same thing with that. I'm also going to take a cotton bud and I'm just going to soften ever so gently the line of the shadow here. And I'm going to take the MIYO Twist Matic Eyes in this shade. I don't know what the name is, but it's kind of like it's a creamy kind of teal color, very similar to the eyes. I'm going to just take that on the inner corner. And then I'm going to take a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes, and for that I'm going to use the MIYO Massive Lash Attack Mascara. It is volumizing, creates enticing, captivating eyes. So there you have it, guys. I showed you a video on all sorts of different ways to use the Pierre Rene liquid primer. I used it to prime my eyelids and my skin. I used it to actually mix into a powdered pigment to make it into a liquid eyeshadow. I used it mixed in with my foundation as it shears it out a little bit, but still gives it that grip so it doesn't actually smudge or wear off on your face. I used it to prime my lips. You can use it on your bronzers and your blushes and your highlights. It is easiest for me to use it with a highlight because I will apply some of the liquid primer here and spread it out, then dip my finger in the highlighter and pat it around there, and then pat it with my finger on my cheek. I didn't do that today because I had set with powder, as I'm quite digging this eye look. I actually want to make this makeup last. I'm actually very, very happy with how this turned out. You can also use it, as I mentioned, to take older products that you already have and actually fix them up. So I now have that eyebrow pomade that does actually work. I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. Please don't forget to hit subscribe and click that notification bell if you would like to see more. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!